Hey guys, you're watching Daniel and Gian, and for those who are new to the channel,
welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for watching. A little background, we're both filmmakers. We both work on commercials, web series, whatever you want to, anything out there, anything and everything under the sun. We've done it, we do it. But we try to be as objective as possible.
But we talk about like filmmakers.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's why we want to put that out there, let you guys know that the way we're talking might be, extreme or whatever, but this is how filmmakers would discuss a film, at least in our opinions.
Yeah.
Because that's how we talk with our filmmaker friends. That's how our filmmaker friends talk to us about their projects.
We do the analytical stuff, so you don't have to.
But let's get into this 2015 film. You're not familiar with the director. I watched his last movie,
which was
Dune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How did you like that one?
I did. I liked it. He obviously is very willing to go places.
Yeah.
And that's what he did in Dune. Mm-hmm. He went places and he's committed and he has the balls to do certain things. But yeah, let's talk about the beginning. What did you think about the beginning? Because you posted about it. You actually spoiled it for me. At that point, I hadn't seen the movie.
Oh,
I'm like, why is there a dead kid in the street? Like, what is this? Because you had no context. You just texted me this picture. And I'm like,
I thought when you responded, what is this? I was like, oh shit, he hasn't seen the movie yet.
I'm like, what is this?
I thought
did he take a picture of a kid dead on the street? Like, I thought it was real, which actually goes to show you. I can only name two other examples in which kids have been murdered on screen.
Right. Attacks of the attacks of
2611.
2611.
Well, I didn't even.
But they didn't show it on
kids.
screen.
Is that kids? Oh, because there was a baby, right?
Yeah, a baby crying.
So there's three then.
Yeah.
Three. That one, Assault on Precinct 13, the John Carpenter movie. It starts off with like the guy kills a little kid in an ice cream truck. Like a girl is going to get ice cream and then she gets murdered. But you don't see it. It's off screen.
Right.
And then the other one is Antichrist, the Lars von Trier movie.
I've never seen
where
that one. Because it's
Willem Dafoe and whoever the girl is, I'm forgetting right now, they're having sex, and while they're having sex, the baby crawls out of the crib and then falls out of the window.
Jesus Christ.
And I think you see like a slow motion shot of the baby falling, but you don't actually see the baby die. This one you see the kid die.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
With sound effects, with like a
and you're hoping that maybe he survives the fall.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
What did you feel that? Because that set the tone.
Oh man, it upset me. It was definitely disturbing.
You didn't like it.
I mean, first of all, like right off the bat, I was like, why isn't that kid wearing a seatbelt? Why is he in the front seat? Like all this shit because you're not allowed to put a kid that size in the front seat.
Let us know in the comments if there's rules and regulations.
Oh, dude, that's only in the U.S. Because we've been to Guatemala, we've been to Mexico, Europe. They don't do car seats. Like I've had people like any person.
I think that's
China.
ridiculous.
They don't have car seats.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been.
We've also seen videos of Indians not wearing helmets, like with their kids.
Yeah.
Just like no one's wearing helmets on their bikes.
You can do that in the Philippines too. There's
I think personally,
in Thailand.
I think it's personally crazy.
Yeah.
Because people fall.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see like how many accidents actually happen, like how many children fatality. I guess that's not interesting. I want to know about that shit.
I don't.
Yeah, we're getting.
But it made you mad. So you didn't like.
No, not mad. It didn't make me mad. It made me upset.
What's the difference?
Like, because I'm a dad.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
It was effective, is what I mean. It was an effective. It didn't take me out. I was like,
okay, that's what I was concerned. I thought you might not like.
No.
I don't want to watch the rest of this movie.
No. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I wanted to love this movie, but
so did I.
But we'll
get into that. We'll
get
into that. Trust me, because I think we're on the same page with this one as opposed to last week with Dev D, where we saw opposite ends.
I
loved how it started.
I love how it started too. Like, I never talk about cinematography, and the cinematography, at least in that opening scene, using that wide shot, using the use of audio as well. Like, you don't know who's talking.
You don't know who you're following until you know who you're following.
Exactly.
And then before you know it, you're in it.
Exactly.
And then once you're in it, they don't.
And staying in the wide the whole time, even though that
it reminded me of
they pan the camera or whatever, but it's still a
just to show her get into the car, and then they reset to the original position.
Exactly. It was an old school shot, to be honest with you. It was like a classic like.
Michael Haneke did a film called Caché, and Caché starts off with like a 15-minute. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but a long ass opening sequence where you don't really know what the fuck you're looking at, like at all. Like and then I don't remember the story, but
it's
I
funny.
remember
Like
that.
the first time you watch it, you don't know what you're looking at, but then when you watch it again, you know exactly what
I
the
haven't
fuck
seen
is.
it since.
Because I rewatched that scene to get that screenshot, and I was like, okay, because I was like, oh, let me pay attention to this again.
And then you kind of saw everything.
Yeah, because I started looking to see who was actually interacting with someone, and then I was like, oh, the lady's back there. She buys the candy off him.
Which it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But I bring up that movie because I remember this. I remember that opening more than the rest of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of like this, I'll always remember the opening of this movie as opposed to everything else that comes after. Because I feel like, let's just get right into it. I mean, we enjoyed this. I enjoyed the cinematography too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the performances for the most part. It's just the context of the performances was what was lacking. Like for me, the biggest problem was that 15-year gap.
Yeah.
If it was like 2 or 3 years, 5 years, I could have believed it more.
Well, that didn't bother me so.
Make Nawazuddin a little bit older.
Yeah.
Have him get cancer, 3 or 5. Because how can 15 years you can't move on? Like there's something else going on here.
I mean,
feel like. I know it's a serious situation, but 15 years old.
Well, it was supposed to be a revenge film, but then you have all this space in between that makes it stop being a revenge film.
Because it was becoming one.
Yeah.
When he's like, he hires the PI.
Exactly.
She goes and finds the hooker.
He goes and rape fucks the hooker. The problem for me was like once he goes into jail and they have that initial meeting, it just kind of went into a completely different space.
Different movie.
Yeah, like I was excited by the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, you know, like the car chase, shooting the woman in the back seat, which is brutal. Like all this brutality, him finding out, him like deciding, you know what, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. You know, he sees him in the jail and then tries to kill him
shit out of him right
in the jail cell. And then
that's
he goes,
all interesting
yeah,
too.
he goes and does the shit with the hooker. You know, like that stuff, like all of it. He's like, I'm gonna stay here 20 years. I'm moving here. You know, that culminated. I'm gonna wait 20 years until this guy gets out. You know, because I thought, all right, we're gonna go to that, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be him hunting him down. But
doing finding the other guy.
Yeah,
at least.
exactly.
Something.
But he did nothing, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you
we just
kind of check in.
We just kind of check in with Nawazuddin's character a few times. He tries to escape. You know, which is, I get the point of it now at the end of it, but it just killed the momentum that the film had for me.
I agree.
You know?
Because it wasn't going towards, but maybe, I don't know, because you could make the argument, well, then that would have been a procedural film. We've all seen that movie before. We've seen the guy in prison, you know, being investigated by the cops trying to investigate and find the other guy, because there was like the guy following Nawazuddin, like, at all times, trying to find.
But see, that's the thing is, I understand what he was trying to do, but he failed in his execution of it. It didn't.
I just think that time gap fucked everything up.
Yeah. Well, because nothing happened in that time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you shorten it, make it.
It just comes back to the same thing.
3 or 5 years. Well, I'm saying if you condense it, then all of a sudden it looks like it happened right after each other.
You can use that time gap if interesting stuff is happening in between. You know.
It made me.
And if it here's the problem with it for me on a story building level is that you use that time gap to try to make Nawazuddin's character into a sympathetic person, and it doesn't work because at the end he did what he did. He never gave any explanation until the very end of why he did it. He was lying about it the entire time. You know, I didn't do anything. I kept for 15
And then
years.
Why do I care that he's going to get out at
Exactly.
Like, why should... Like, every time that the woman kept saying, like, but he need... I'm like, oh, why?
Why? Exactly.
Like, I'm an audience goer, so obviously I know things that she doesn't know as a representative. That's the whole Hitchcock thing. We know something that that the characters don't know, and the characters might know something that the audience doesn't know. So, like, you can see why she's justifying this or whatever. But, I mean, it's just, you know... At the end of the day, he was still convicted of it. So regardless if he's innocent or not, he still was convicted.
And I don't think that was his plan either. I thought he probably thought he was going to get out after 3 or 4 years because they weren't going to pin the murder on him. But they did pin the murder on him anyway.
You know, I just think I keep harping back on the time, and it's only because by the time we check back in with our lead, and I don't even know his name. That's the other thing too. Raghu, there you go, yeah, Raghu.
Yeah.
It's such a long time. It's like you did nothing with your life. Like, how are you making a job? Like, there's one shot where he's like at a job somewhere, but you don't see him ever going to work or like ever trying to.
You don't see him going to that job until the 15 years have already passed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like for me, it presented a lot of unnecessary questions.
Yes.
I guess that's the best way, because I'm worried. Like, I'm just saying.
I mean, I have a solution for this. If you're what you're trying to do is
they didn't even do a montage of 15 years.
If you want to like flip the scripts of the characters and what their purposes is, number one, it should have been an accidental. Like he shouldn't have shot her. It should have been an accident. Both of them dying should have been an accident.
That way he can hold it over his head.
Exactly.
He's still responsible for it.
Yeah.
But he didn't really do it.
Exactly.
So it's like this.
And then we should have seen Homeboy becoming a monster, like him just going out and doing.
Then that's the whole. Yeah. That's the point. Is they switched spots.
Right.
They
exactly.
switched roles. Like he became. But it's at the same
never
time. It's
him,
like, do you really fucking fault the guy for doing any of this? I don't either. But 15 years later, I do.
I mean,
no. Because that's.
He waited 15 years because he kept his mouth shut that entire time. Didn't tell anybody. The other dude kept his mouth shut the entire time. Like this whole time, I thought maybe dude took off with the money and he was
Liak.
I was completely wrong. There was a K in there and an L. Liak sitting there, kept his mouth shut the entire time. Other dude didn't say anything, So there was no way to find out who the partner was until somehow he got it out of. He traded like I'll do the pardon letter if you tell me anything you know to the mom.
Yeah, the mom. Mom does a good performance.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
And so this whole time, that's what he was waiting for. He wanted to find out the people behind.
I get it, but is that like you could have condensed
Hey, dude,
it.
somebody kills. Okay, that's different. I'm talking about his purpose. Like,
no, I'm not. All the
somebody killed your wife and your child, and you've been like, and you haven't moved past it.
I get it. I get that.
Yeah.
But 15 years,
other
I
people,
think,
like,
is a long time. I genuinely feel like.
You think someone will get over it? Some people don't get it.
No, but no.
Fucking incels don't get over the first girl they.
I'm not saying the idea of some guy waiting 15 years or 20 years or whatever to exact revenge is far-fetched.
I don't think we're arguing about something different.
No, I know. I'm clarifying for people out there so they know my point. Because we didn't see anything during that 15-year gap, he looks the same as he did when we first saw him.
All they did just put a little gray in his beard
and made his eyes like red.
Right.
Which means he's an alcoholic. Which makes me okay. How is he living? How is he sustaining himself?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. These are the questions that I'm asking that shouldn't be asked, because a montage would have been better. I mean, you clearly see he has family in the beginning who are there, and then all of a sudden, where the fuck did they, like, everything that was set up in the beginning kind of was forgotten.
Just needed more music.
Okay, the music is my number one complaint, and I actually complained about it in his newest film, is his overusage of music. And this one was worse. Because, like, tonally, some of the music just didn't even fit. Like, there was a moment where Nawazuddin was in jail, and it was playing this, like, triumphant hero music. But what you were seeing, it just didn't make any sense.
Like I said, that might be him trying to change the...
But even, I don't know, it just took me out.
Like I said, it's an execution thing. It's somewhere along the line, what he was trying to accomplish didn't come across, to us anyways.
To us.
And there's other parts, back to the...
I think it was a writing thing, though. As a director,
it could be,
I think he knows.
I mean, but did he write the script?
I don't know, actually. I didn't really pay attention.
When he goes and kills his partner and his partner's wife,
he was a writer.
Liak tries to be like, "Oh, you're just like me. You just killed two innocent people." And I was like, "Are they innocent?"
Right.
That, like, this dude's been living on fucking high off the hog.
The girl's innocent.
But no, she wasn't, because she was willing to fuck dude to save her fucking piece of shit husband's life.
But that's because she believed that he didn't do it.
Okay, but he still was part of this murder with this.
I mean, I get it, but
this is what the response that he wanted. The response that he wanted from her was to walk out and leave the house. Fuck you, you're a piece of shit. But no, I'm living life too good because of all this money you stole. I don't want my life to get ruined because of this. Let's play along with this guy.
And this is why you never kill hostages.
All right.
Because they could have got away scotch-free. I mean, with the exception of getting caught on camera, which it looks like that's how Nawazuddin got caught.
I mean, the first thing you do is you kick them out of the car.
Arguably the kid did get kicked out of the car.
That's fucked up.
It's fucking also true.
But yeah, these are like the things like we were supposed to. And so at some point I was like, it did feel kind of like awkward that he still killed them. But then I'm like, no, you know what?
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
In my opinion, he should have ended up in jail.
I thought, oh yeah.
Like I don't know why he like because it wasn't a revenge film like Kill Bill.
No.
Where you're glad that the bride kills everybody. You're like, if she went to jail, you'd be pissed off.
Right.
You want her to ride off into the sunset with her daughter and like fucking live their days because she got betrayed and all this other stuff. This one, you do want them to die. I mean, I was indifferent, but for story-wise,
I wasn't. That's another issue I had is like we never checked in on
that's
dude.
the 15 fucking years.
His partner, we saw him at the bank robbery. We never saw his face because he never pulled.
I know. I was like, I had to.
I think he pulled it off for a second.
With the train going by.
Yeah,
which is not a good.
But then we never see him again. To the point where when
he shows up, I'm like, is this even the guy?
When Nawazudin's saying that the cops killed him and probably took the money, like
he might have.
Yeah, exactly. I started believing it, like.
I think that was the point. I never believed it because he obviously was lying through his teeth in the beginning. But poor Nawazuddin, only playing one fucking role, plays it well, but
dude, it's those crazy eyes, man. It's that stare he's got.
When he's first getting interrogated by that first cop, I watched his. I didn't pay attention to the cop.
Yeah.
He didn't blink once. He didn't blink once, and he didn't look away once, which is like your stereotypical indicator that he's lying.
Which tells he's a sociopath.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was able to just stay focused on them, but
which makes his explanation at the end not valid for me.
Well, I didn't believe it anyway.
Yeah. No, when he said, you know what? I was in the heat of the moment. I didn't know what I was doing. I went a little crazy. When he explains to Raghu why he did what he did.
Oh, it's like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
When John Travolta shoots the black guy in the face. He's like, it was a bump or whatever.
He didn't mean to shoot him in the face.
Well, I'm sure he didn't mean to kill her. Nawazuddin. He shot her. He didn't shoot her in the face.
But I don't know. He shot her. I don't know. I don't know what size.
I don't think he meant to kill the kid either.
No, the kid, I think that was an accident. Although we don't see, he may push him out of the car. We don't know. That shot was.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I think the way.
Why wasn't she screaming for him to put a seatbelt on?
I think there is some validity to statements like that, though. I'm not saying he's not a sociopath, but I do think in certain circumstances, maybe not that one, where heat of the moment is real.
Yeah.
Where you
I
under better circumstances, but you're also robbing a bank.
Yeah. I liked the mom telling him, like, tell me about my dad. And he's like, why are we going to bring up stuff in the past? Like, and he's like, you can't think of anything good about my dad. So what are you going to say about me when I go? That was cool. I like that little interaction with him. And then, honestly, my favorite bit of acting throughout the whole film was when he goes and turns himself in, and the cop who's banking on that money,
he starts yelling at him,
screaming at him over and over again.
Tell me you didn't do it, or whatever.
Tell me you didn't do it. Say you didn't do it.
And all the other cops are like,
say. And everyone's like, what's wrong with this dude? And that scene was probably my favorite scene of the whole film.
Again, corrupt cops.
Yeah.
On the day of his retirement, wanted that $25 million, of which I'm assuming is rupees. I don't know.
I mean,
they just said
it must be a lot of money regardless. So
yeah,
it was a
clearly
drum full of cash.
So that's a lot of money. What'd you think about the ending though? You kind of touched on it.
I hated it.
It was just.
I hated it so much.
Well, what would the jail be the better ending?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. Like they met up, him and the girl met up.
Like all of a sudden it clicked. I mean, it clicked. You know what? My mom thinks I'm a piece of shit. The world thinks I'm a piece of shit. I never got a second chance because I got cancer when I thought I was going to get out. This guy, you know what? He deserves a second chance. Like. Why does he deserve a second chance? I don't know. And this is where I kind of agree with you. It's been 15 years. Like
that's what you don't even see. You could have spent 15 years with Nawazuddin in jail.
Right.
I'm just saying, you fucking keep. If you would have, you have the time.
You confuse this with who the actual protagonist of the film is. Whose story is it? It just kind of turned into this.
And not in a good way.
No.
Not in a way where it's like, oh my god, they're both anti-heroes. But in a way
just kind
where
of melded.
They're
together.
Underdeveloped. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. They're underdeveloped, and there's a lot of emotion within the scenes because we're humans,
right?
And we know that they've killed the kids, and so like on a primal level, we're there.
And then they stop by like the hooker stops by with her fucking John or whatever. Well, she's
Oh.
not a hooker anymore. Now she's just a side piece. You know.
A paid for side piece.
Yeah, she was a guma.
So what would you rate the film then? Because I didn't think it was terrible.
Like
at
I
all.
said,
I think it was bad.
I wanted to love this film because there was a lot of cool stuff, and it was.
That's why I hate fucking rating
It was
films.
technically, like, on a technical level, it was great. Like, this guy he's definitely got an eye.
Anadune is way better than this for sure.
Okay.
It does have like flaws that
I mean, how many is this? His first? I mean,
No, this is like his 5th film.
Okay.
Or this, I think this would have been his 4th. Let me double check. But he's. I do think you should check out
awkward.
Anadune.
I want to be awkward for the sake of being awkward. You know, I want to. These are my twists. You know, but the twist went a little too melodramatic. Like, it started off in this crazy, violent manner. Then it went just this whole middle section is super melodramatic, and then it goes back into the crazy stuff at the end. So it was just tonally inconsistent. So I mean, I guess I'll give it a 6.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like,
because I don't want to be like people
like a
like you
6.
gave Devdas a 5.
Well, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's why I
Dev D.
hate the review
Yeah.
things, because it's so arbitrary.
The numbers are trivial, you know?
And it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's really about what we've been saying. Like
It was like it had a good idea. It was going in the right direction, but it fell flat. That's how.
That fucking time gap, man. That time gap.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
that's it. That center part of the film ruined everything.
like one of the early things that we learned in film school is like title cards are not the most effective way to present information. They can work and they can be, but at USC they made sure to like voiceovers and time cards. Like, learn to make your movies without that.
Yeah.
And then if you want to use it, okay, it's
because
fine.
it's a stylistic choice,
But, like,
rather than a crutch.
I felt like this was like, well, we can just jump ahead. And we'll instead of making it 20 years, we'll make it 15, and then we'll give him cancer so we can give him like...
Yeah, there's just little elements like...
Which could still work. That's what I'm saying. You make Nawazuddin a little bit older in the story. He gets cancer
There's
within
other
5
things,
years,
dude,
and all of a sudden it's just like...
You know what? The perfect... I don't want to say perfect, but... Because I'm rewriting this dude's project. Who knows? He might be super proud of it. There's a scene where he's in jail, and they're like, hey... You can get any alcohol you want. You want to go get a drink? And then it's them trying to get the money from him. And I don't know. It's fucked up to say, but had he been raped, and had we seen him getting continually raped in prison?
Oh, but and you would have felt more...
I think that starts building
sympathy.
sympathy.
Because he's a human at that point.
Exactly.
And you're like, fuck, he killed all these people, but you also don't want him to suffer like this.
Right.
Because he's Nawazuddin Siddiqui.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. If it was any other actor, well, at least for me.
No, I mean, it's not just...
Well, for me, I just want him to... I want to see him do more darker and darker shit.
Yeah.
In the film.
And that's what it should... That's
like, get involved
if
with
you're going to make him
darker and darker
sympathetic,
shit.
then you need, like, dark shit to happen to him, and we have to see it on screen, not 15 years later, title card, hey, he's got cancer. You know, he didn't earn any sympathy from me.
He didn't earn his cancer.
Yeah, he didn't earn his cancer. You know what I mean? Like, if we see this guy continually, like, you know, and goes back to had it had actually been an accident, had he not seemed like a sociopath lying through his teeth.
Well, I think that's important.
With no mercy.
I think that's important.
You know.
That he killed him. Because that's the whole point.
No, that's important. But what I'm saying is, had it been an accident, had we believed at the beginning that it was just like, he just lost his mind for a second, but when he goes into jail, there's no remorse in his face. You know, it's all an act, and we know it's an act. And I think you never garner that sympathy to make the twist work.
Yeah, I think so.
And you could have done stuff. You could have gone real dark, or make him a complete sociopath. Like, they go in to rape him, and he ends up killing all 5 guys or something.
All of this stuff could have happened in those 15 years.
It could have.
It
absolutely
that's
could
the
have.
takeaway.
But instead, we go melodramatic in the middle, and
you lose. I think you lose the heart of the story.
You do,
because you forget to check in on the lead.
But that's where you're supposed to build your character, and you didn't build any character whatsoever. So that's where it is for me. But
Rickon asks, I think this was Varun's second best performance after his role in October, which we didn't see. I actually started to take Varun's acting more seriously in all of his movies after this. Question: how far would both of you have gone if your wife and child got killed in a robbery case? What a nice question, Rickon. I mean, I would have wanted to get both the guys in jail and given death sentence, at least Nawazuddin. But to go to the extent of killing Harmon and his wife was a bit too much unreal. This was the part that bothered me with the movie. Like, would you guys have been that psychologically messed up? I'll go first because I feel like you're the
expert.
You're the easy one. You're the easy target here for that question. Are we talking about American life or in India? Because 20 years as an American doesn't seem like enough time. But I've come to learn that like 20 years is a lot in a lot of countries.
Yeah.
And then like in countries in Norway and stuff, where the recidivism rate, or whatever you pronounce it, whatever the fuck, where they go out of prison and come back in, like that, whatever recidivism.
I don't know what's called.
Whatever the fuck it's called, it's really low in those countries, and they only have a maximum sentence of like 20 years because their whole purpose of them in jail,
it's actual rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation,
it's
exactly.
Not for profit like it is here.
Would I want someone to just kill my wife and kids to be rehabilitated? I don't know. It's like I don't think you can answer that question. Like, what I want to kill them, though? No, I don't think I can kill them. Because I can barely fucking kill insects, let alone, like, throwing my own life away to do that. I don't think. Like, if he got the death sentence, the state killed him, or he got murked in jail,
right?
I'm not going to fucking cry home about it. But, like, to me, to go out and to, like, hire a PI to, like, find out who his family was and things like that. Because if these people were involved in a bank robbery, I'm going to assume gang member, I'm going to assume all these other things, and it might not be smart for me to go after them because they might kill me, they might kill the rest of my family. So like, I wouldn't. For me personally, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd let the law take over. I don't know about you though. Obviously, it's different in your situation.
I mean, I don't.
You can actually speak to it.
I don't want to put myself in that position.
So that's what I'm. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I've never been in a situation where I felt the need to take a human life.
At any point. Unless it's fucking Call of Duty.
And and
exactly. You can respawn.
So it's like, I don't know what I would do. I don't know.
And you don't want to know what you want to do.
No, I don't. If you decide to go that route, you've basically given up your humanity. You've turned into the same monster that they become. Is that where the rate?
That's what I'm saying. Are you willing to do that?
And I don't. I could tell you right now I'm not willing to do it, but if I couldn't tell you honestly what would happen if that.
And then the reality
maybe it would be something like if they got a shitty prison sentence, they got off with manslaughter and they were out with 8 years. Maybe I would want to take the law into my own hands. Maybe I would hire someone else to take them out. I don't know. I've seen people, at courthouses, somebody killed their kid or their brother, and they jump over and start beating the shit out of them in the courthouse. Like people.
I guess it gets to the point.
I think
if you're willing to throw your own life away,
he seemed to be driven more about his wife than he was his kid.
Yeah, the kid never got mentioned.
No, not really. I think maybe the kid thing might drive me a little crazier than my wife. I'm just saying, to be completely
it makes
honest.
sense.
Yeah.
No, it makes. I mean, it's that you created. You didn't create your wife.
No.
You created your son.
Exactly.
So there's a
right.
completely different thing.
And if it was like a cold-blooded child murder, like if somebody ran my kid over with a car because they weren't paying attention or something,
or they were drunk or whatever,
I would be upset, but it wouldn't be the same as some guy like kidnapped my kid and murdered my kid.
No, I know.
That question is way too deep to ask.
It is. Because the way I look at it,
I don't know is the best answer.
The way I look at it is like this: if they're willing to give their own life away to go after them in vengeance, I don't support it. I wouldn't support it, but that's their right.
Right.
I think so. I think like on a primal human level, if a father wants to go after the guy who killed him, and just them, not like slaughter the whole family, not slaughter the other, then I think it's like eye for eye mentality.
Right.
I wouldn't condone it. I don't think it's justified, but if they're willing to sacrifice their own life and risk going to prison themselves and throwing their whole fucking life away to exact who am I to that's where I stand on it.
I wouldn't judge the guy for doing it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you judge him because you probably should be the better person and not kill someone else. But that's why I use quotes. Who's a better person in that situation? Because it's primal. It's primal.
And I don't think I'd judge them at all. Like I'd understand why they would take it to that level. Would I take it to that level?
You'd be like, do you fault the guy?
And I guess the worst part was that he killed the dude's wife. We needed some context for that. And we got a little context for it, and I get it.
Plus, the guy didn't really know. He wasn't in the car, so he doesn't know what happened. The guy who killed.
Oh yeah, he doesn't know who killed his.
Or
Yeah.
he doesn't know what you know.
He doesn't
So
know who's telling the truth. Yeah.
So he just killed both of them.
Yeah. Take them both out.
I don't know why he didn't kill the whore, but that's neither here nor there.
I thought he did. I thought it looked like it. I thought he was camping out to try to get her as well, but he left her alone.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because he already stole her soul with his dick. You got anything left?
No, that'll do it, I think.
What do we review next week?
Actually, there's a poll going on right now, so we don't know.
Okay.
Right now, Shania Express is winning this poll.
All right, guys. Probably going to be Shania Express, our next review, but thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time.